Hi friends. We get to talk. The I don't know how long this message is going to be, so obviously you'll know because you'll have it's listed here, but there has been so much coming through and I am just a conduit for source, and I just want to honor some of the parts and pieces that are coming up. Some of this might connect to some of the astrology, um, most likely. For those of you who don't know, and this might be the first time that you're meeting me, hi, I'm Izzy. I go by 8th House Mercury here and Astremia on my other account, which is linked below, which is where I do evolutionary astrology. My channeling abilities, my divination gifts, and astrology have now just become one, and I'm embracing it slowly but surely. And yeah, before I dive into this message, I do want to let you guys know I am hosting a spring equinox celebration, insight, astrology, dive, guided. So many things that I'm going to be doing. So you can check that out down below. There's limited spots available. So RSVP if you're interested. I did a message a bit ago about bees, and the bees are coming up, and they continue to unfold in the interpretation, in the understanding, and something that may be happening for you, similarly to myself, is this sort of gentle nudge from source in certain media that you're consuming, like feeling inspired to watch a certain show or read a certain book or listen to a specific song. Like there's like these gentle nudges towards specific media that's coming up, and it makes sense astrologically. And that's, where I bring in my knowledge or my more logic, cerebral understanding of some of the channeling that comes through. Is we have so many freaking planets in Pisces right now. Mercury's retrograde in Pisces, and it's almost like the way Mercury's retrograde is moving us through this time is through this sort of like processing through media or content that we're consuming, not like scrolling through Instagram or whatever. It's like movies, films, music, albums, poetry, books. Like this like conscious consumption of media is bringing in insight. Now, I'm going to share some things that came through for me, and deeper things. I haven't watched this movie in a long time, and of course it was popped up on my recommended, which is Jupiter Rising, which is this movie. If you have YouTube Premium, it's free, I think, to watch right now. Popped up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to watch this movie. I kind of understood the plot, like I knew what it was, but I didn't remember all the details. And there is a scene in there, spoilers, like if you haven't seen it, maybe skip like a minute ahead or whatever. There's a scene in there where I wrote it down in my phone because I started writing down some of the content that I've been consuming. Watching Jupiter Rising and the bee scene, Queen Bee, Reclaiming Throne, shows our codes is what I got. Like there's certain codes that are opening portals for us through people's creations. Understanding my mission. Bees, this is a quote from the movie. Bees are genetically designed to recognize royalty. And these bees gathered around the main character and were like moving and following her movements, and they like all the other characters in the movie were like, "Oh, you're royalty." And they're like, "Your Majesty, Your Highness." And she's like, "Huh?" And that was just like a massive sync for the collective that I've been reading for. And I'm a part of this collective, and I just tend to relay what's coming up for me because I know through connecting with the people in my community, my close friends, like we're all just on this similar wavelength. And even my clients that I get to work with, like it's very interesting what is unfolding right now. And that to me was really the reclamation of the throne. And I even watched like an episode of Victoria, which is this period drama, and she's like literally like at the end of the first episode has to realize she can't just be a little girl anymore. She's Queen of England. And there's so much happening for those of you who are watching this and resonating with what I've said so far, which is really this sort of culmination point of what's been happening, of this sort of ascension process, but also a reclamation. It's ascension, but it's already a pathway that you've tread before. It's a pathway that you've been on and you know and are familiar, and it's a matter of waking up to it. Rather than ascending past a certain point you've already been, you're just going up a pathway that is deeply familiar for you. And it's just this remembrance, remembering who you were before all of this. And it's unique for each and every one of you because we all have different assignments and missions here. But continuing this sort of interpretation of what's come through today, I've got the back of my house opened up. I'm blessed that I'm able to do that. And my eyes caught 3 flowers outside, and it's spring. It's about to be springtime. We've got a couple more weeks, but where I'm at, and there's the 2 geese out by the pond too, there's 3 daffodils. And I was like, oh, I just literally just hopped right out there and barefoot and everything and just had a moment in nature. And that is also really important too, for those of you who are resonating, is like no devices, going out in nature, reconnecting, like letting yourself, especially because a lot of downloads are coming through and it's like God, the messages keep coming through. If you've been continually deleting things off of your devices and it just keeps filling up, same thing's happening to you. You have a lot of excess energy that is moving through you and a lot of like old patterns. Focus on my face. A lot of old patterns that are coming up as well that are like, hold on. I knew my bonus dad was going to do that. It's funny. I was like, oh yeah, I got to be aware that there's outside stuff happening. Noticing the patterns that aren't serving you and like allowing the earth to transmute that. So like literal, like bare ass feet on the ground, guys, you got to do it. So I'm heading to the flowers. I get over there, man. What is there? A bee, one of those big, worker bumblebees, and just floating around me and just following me around. And then another thing catches my eye, and it was an egg that was already cracked and like something hatched from it. And inside the egg was a spider. And I know the right people are here because I understand that nature has been talking to me, has been calling to me in these different ways and showing these symbolism. And it really is like, I don't think that you guys have realized it, but you have exited the egg. Certain parts of you have. And it's interesting with the spider inside of it. The spider is the weaver of life. It's this sort of like, you are now getting the opportunity to weave your own destiny. And that's kind of the threshold that you're at, where it's like, what are you going to choose? A lot has come through, a lot is leaving. So what are you going to do with it? What are you going to move with it? And I'm like, what else, Spirit? I heard 369. So that sort of pattern. Now they're reminding me. If you ask, Spirit's going to show you. If you ask, the universe is going to provide. And it's actually happening a lot quicker than you anticipate. And this is for people who are... We might have to just put up with that because I don't know how long he is. So I'm gonna be close to the mic, just so you guys can hear me. But you guys have been understanding and working with quantum physics and understanding like quantum entanglement, all these quantum aspects of life, of really realizing that what is the, man, I always forget the rule within quantum, like, let me look it up and you guys are going to sit here with me as I do this. Yes, the idea that objects exist independently of being observed, right? So it's one of those things where subatomic particles do not have do not have defined properties, position, spin until measured. And that's what Spirit's like really showing you is like, it's whatever you want is there. Like, it's like, or it's not there, right? And I have an example because I had gotten this ring, the middle one, on my middle finger, because that's a whole nother story that I'll probably share in the future. But I had searched the house for it, and I'm very intentional with where I place my jewelry. Like, I have a specific spot for my stuff, and this ring was not there. So I am thinking, I have a cat and he likes to mess around with my jewelry and knock things down. So I'm like, he probably knocked it either down the sink drain, you name it. And so I just kind of, I did my due diligence and I looked everywhere for it and couldn't find it. And I was looking in the mirror, and I have one of those like mirror medicine cabinets where it can open up. And I was like, well, I just trust that when the time is right for me to receive this ring again, I will receive it. And I just let it go. And then a little nudge was like, but what if it's just exactly where I want it to be? Right? What if it's, you know, somewhere because I know that it's somewhere, right? And my mind is like, no, I'm going to like put it in a location to find. I open the medicine cabinet and it's right in there. I searched in there. I searched in there. I looked in there. I want to have Spirit come through with the cards now. But that was like, and then immediately Spirit was like, we told you, like you, the song, this has been coming up for my brother and I and my bonus sister, like, well, my sister-in-law, the song of you can have whatever you like. It's like Spirit's like, stacks on deck, patrol the lights. Okay, I want to name the first card that came out is the Androgyny. You are my collective that really, really have found inner union. You're no longer outsourcing like masculine figures or feminine figures. You're like, oh, you found it within. And so I heard like that's been the key this whole time is no longer needing or expecting or being desperate for things outside of you because you're here. Yep. Okay. Wow. Yeah. We have coagulation, and that's interesting. This reminds me of a dream that I had about like there was like a vial of blood that I had that like your quantum messages, Spirit's just throwing things in my brain where there's this breakdown of your DNA that has changed, like literally has changed. Old patterns, old even like ancestrally have changed, and people around you are noticing too. Like family members are noticing that you have changed, something has changed. People around you, if you have a platform, people are recognizing a change within you. Coagulation is this sort of like conglomeration of blood, of things coming together. It's like being stuck, and you've been going through the process and trusting the unraveling, but you're not doing it in a way that is forceful. I have this sliver in my hand, and this came up the other day with a natal chart reading with a sweet client of mine, which was so amazing. By the way, if you guys are looking for natal chart readings, it's my favorite thing to do. And it's the greatest gift that I can give to somebody besides these messages and all the other great gifts that I give. But it's like the one that like, oh, it's so rewarding for me. And I hear feedback that is rewarding for the receiver as well. But for those of you who aren't familiar, natal chart readings are basically where I look at the snapshot of the sky when you were born. It's your soul's blueprint, and I can really get into it and understand your patterns and the evolutionary growth that you're transmuting and growing into for your soul's evolution. If you want to know what the hell you're here to do, let's do it. All my offerings are linked down below. But this, like the idea with the sliver coming in here, where it's this sort of like trusting the body that it's going to expel it. Like you've just been trusting yourself. That's like the greatest theme of what's been going on. You've been trusting yourself and following the sparks of light. You've been following these small signs and synchronicities. And instead of like going down the rabbit hole of the story of like, I'm crazy, this is crazy, maybe those thoughts did come up, but they've slowed down. They're no longer as heavy because you're like, well, every time that I've taken action on these little inklings or these feelings of joy or direction, it's worked out. So I can't question this anymore. And then we have Neptune, which is the mystics planet. And it really feels like you are like this with your intuition and also your instinct. Like it really is this bridging of the two. Now, Spirit, tell me what you would like this person to know. I feel like I've just been sharing and confirming a lot of energy that you've been moving through. Oh, sulfur. This has been coming. Oh, okay. Wait, okay. Cool. I'm so glad the great work was on the bottom because they immediately showed me you in the position of helping facilitate healing, though it's not through the pleasantries of like talk therapy, for example, which talk therapy, depending on your self-awareness, can be fine. But I'm talking to a group of people who talk therapy is fine, but you already know yourself deeply and you know your patterns. And it's almost like just getting confirmation that you know yourself when you go to talk therapy. So sulfur is this card, and your guides want you to know that a part of your great work is offering healing through modalities that not not a lot of people are going to want to embark on, and that's okay. And I feel like you're aware of that. Like your path has been so deeply unique. Sulfur is a healing element. It is healing, but it's not the most pleasant experience. And I feel like you are carving a pathway to help lead people through their own experience of sulfur, like facilitating people meeting themselves through facing themselves. Whoa, interesting. I was shuffling the deck the other way. All right. What else? Okay. Whoa. Wow. Okay. We have dissolution, separation, and the drowned king. This is straight up so fucking clear. You have you have reclaimed your inner king. That is a massive confirmation. And Spirit's here telling you, like, with dissolution, which is this deep emotional terrain, and separation from the drowned king, it's like you have interesting. Spirit's like kind of pulled me off on a fork in the path where it's like this is also in tandem about separating emotionally from somebody who hasn't reclaimed their drowned king, that hasn't reclaimed that. But that was a part of your direction. It was like this little detour. They're like, you went this way. It was like going to visit a small town and then like getting back on the freeway kind of thing, or like whatever it is. I'm seeing like an eddy in a river where those are parts that like kind of spin around until they spit you out. And I feel like you've been on like a sort of experience the last probably since the North Node has been in Pisces, which has been over a year and a half, about a year and a half. And Spirit's saying like you had to kind of be around people that externalize this inner experience that you were having, which is this experience that you were essentially neglecting your inner masculine, this part. And it's interesting, this has been coming up a bunch with my community and people sharing with me, where it's been like really recognizing your inner masculine energy in an entirely new light, where you realize it's always been present, it's always been there, it's always been supporting you, but the negative traits of the masculine has been what you've been focused on. And it's sort of like, it was like this imposter masculine that's been inside of you. And so you've had to, because this wasn't something that you could recognize within yourself at that time, you had to call in really unconscious masculines that really neglected their inner king. And so you're separating from this. And again, I mean, we already know that you've integrated this, but I feel like that was a deeper confirmation from Spirit in regards to this. Okay. We're pulling out my cerulean sequence deck. The color blue is really important here. Tell me the reason I was born to... What else, Spirit? Future direction for the collective here, especially like the embracing of your throne, the embracing of your inner union. I'm almost seeing like a wedding within yourself, like having a moment to celebrate your inner union would be important as well. I'm hearing church bells. Okay, whoa. Whoa, this is crazy. Okay. We have 0. And we have 6. This is wild to me because these two exact cards came out for a client of mine. I wonder if you're watching. If you are, say hi, or maybe don't. Maybe you don't want to reveal yourself. That's fine too. So sixes are numbers for love, and I do have to look at the book because I do because this book is new to me. But this card kind of gives me the like Ace of Wands, right? It's on fire. It's like this sort of wand, but it does bring in the pains of love. Oh, I heard you dodged a bullet. This drowned king, you dodged a bullet. Don't live in the fear of loss. It's worth it for the love. Heartbroken on the mend. Sometimes things transform and they take a different shape. The pains of love. How do we heal from the things that hurt the most? It hurts like a thorn, but it feels like honey. Sacred geometry. It is in balance with the love you give. And like, it's got this drawing of like love and loss, and you are finding the balance with it. With the 0 card, that's what was coming through immediately, is like you dodged a bullet. This 0 is remember your humble beginnings and you'll be reminded of the possibilities. Yeah, I feel like whatever this past connection was, it was almost like a frustrating experience where you're like, fuck, why'd I do that again? Because I feel like you knew better. Okay, but tell me, oh, and even with your own inner masculine too, I'm seeing like there could have been a moment where you would have merged with this imposter masculine inner authority within you. Like there was a moment where it was so strong where it feels almost like a drill sergeant is what it feels like. It feels like this sort of experience of like, you have to get up at this time and do this and do this. And like, but you were like, this is not my true, this is not going to be my true experience of the masculine within myself. So tell me, going forward, like I'm looking down at the horizon. I'm seeing like, again, this river that you've been on. I'm hearing the river flows within you. And thinking about, it's from, that song is also featured in Twilight, right? It's a song that I think Edward plays on the piano. We have another 6 coming out, which is about love. And I really want to point out at the top left-hand corner for you guys, the sort of like little chart there. This is making me think about like personality tests, or like finding, like understanding yourself and how you operate now, like how you operate now versus in the past. Bum, bum. This is reflect. Everything flows together with reason. See the beauty in things. Reflections of the heart. Do it for your heart. Take only what you give. You'll have to face your reflection with your heart. This would be a beautiful sunset if I used another color. Yeah, I feel like you're really understanding your needs when it comes to connection moving forward now that it's like, and I feel it's very healthy too. Like you're like, I don't feel depleted anymore. I'm not outsourcing. I'm not looking outside of myself. But I feel like there's this deeper need to get in touch with what your heart needs now. Like what is it? You know, what would love look like from this balanced place? What would it be like to enjoy those things? We have 5. Oh man, I didn't think this was going to come through with this reading. Communication. That is change in communication. So there's definitely like a shift. Sorry, my dog is running down the hill. That is so cute. And the sunset is really beautiful. My mom's riding off on her little dirt bike. Okay, we have another 5. Okay, so change is imminent. Ooh. What? What is going on here? I feel like an energy hijacked the reading in a good way, where it's like, maybe this needed to come through here where I shared where you're at, and you might be ignoring love readings. Because with this 5, this is all literally this says change in communication. Existence equals accessibility. Do you have a charger? My phone's going to die. Sometimes don't you want to throw your phone in the river, in the ocean, canyon? Ring, ring. Only you can free yourself. Interesting. Yeah. There's communication coming in for sure. And then with this 5 as well, this is under pressure. If you don't let it all out without a way to release all that pressure, you might explode immediately. There are lovers to it you can't see. Go with the flow. It's all you can do. Explosive changes. If the change is going to happen, go with it. Give in, feel it. Yeah, I feel like this is a part of like, if there is communication that's coming in, like let yourself feel all the feelings that come up with whomever this person is that immediately kind of came to your mind here. It's okay. And I think a part of your healing, maybe you've gone down the path of being with this 6 that came out. It's almost as though, again, I had no idea the message was going to go this direction. It's almost as though maybe you've been, I don't know, coping a little bit, where it's kind of like skirting around the pain of your self-betrayal through going through these patterns with relationships, and like really getting in touch with this, and past people maybe coming up and understanding maybe the potential too that they could have changed. They might have changed. They might have addressed certain things that were issues in the past. At the bottom of the deck, we have tend to your garden and you will see things grow. A drop of love might help. How is your heart? It can be hard to feel like you are doing enough. Reserve your love. Be tender, soft like water, loving like the land, give without expectation, give fully like the sun. I feel like you're being prompted to approach this inquiry from this person, whether, and with it being Pisces season and this Mercury retrograde being in Pisces, it might be coming through in dreams or downloads or thinking about them. And I feel it's important for you to approach this with a new lens, but also allow yourself to feel the feelings that are coming up as well. I had no idea the reading was going to go this direction. Any last advice, Spirit? Going back to my alchemy deck. Any last advice for the viewer here? Any last advice? The Sun. You are exactly where you're meant to be. And I feel like it makes sense with Mercury being retrograde in Pisces that past people would come up. Hold on. We got an airplane travel coming through. It's interesting, the airplane going by. It's like, those are one of the last flights and where I live to take off too. So it's like almost the last chance to connect to you with this person. I know I brought that back in, but I feel like with this Mercury retrograde that you are getting the opportunity to approach and reconnect or rekindle things with a person in a new way from this new energy that you've cultivated. And you're no longer like resentful of them, though it's important for you to acknowledge the part that once was instead of like bypassing it. That feels important as well, to know that you've already reclaimed your throne. You're already queen, king, monarch within your own inner world. So there's nothing you need from this other than just like showing yourself, showing your heart, and like just giving without expectation, but in a way that is sovereign and not because you think you should. It's authentic expression. Like you are shining. You are like, you've changed. You've transformed. Okay. I'm going to leave this message here. I had no idea we were going to go this way with it, but I'm glad it did. And hopefully that made sense for you guys. I would love to hear how this lands. And as always, if you'd like to book a reading with me or natal chart reading or all my other offerings, it's all linked on my website, which is listed down below. And definitely check out my other account. We just uploaded the astrological forecast for the week ahead. So go check that out. All right. I love you guys.